Hello, BookTube. I was at lunch today with my muscle-bound teenager and some of his friends, and my phone buzzed, and I looked at it, and I showed it to him, and it was all of your questions that I asked for earlier today for my 2,000 subscriber milestone. And he thumbed through all the questions, and he said, "Dude, your lame-ass BookTube friends sure ask a lot of questions." Which is absolutely true. They're great. We're going to have a lot of fun with the answer video. But of course, that meant that it was kind of weird, too, to be sitting at that table with him and his friends, this big, brawny kid, and remembering that it was at that same table that I was sitting 18 years ago having an argument with the New York Review of Books when his mother, who owns the restaurant, brought him out to my table to say hi to me when he was 2 weeks old. Life is very strange. Or maybe not. But of course that meant that when I got back here and there was a mail haul, I had the rest of you in mind, right on the top of my mind. So I thought we'd go through the mail, just a bit of it. I already tore apart this morning's shipment, but I have a small shipment from this afternoon. And I also want to show, there's another book haul that I want to do today. I'm going to film them at the same time because Olive from a book Olive told me that that's permissible. But first let's do the new mail. I have an old book haul that I want to show you because my wanderings about it today were fruitful. But let's see what we have here. Okay. Haunted is the first one, on ghosts, witches, vampires, zombies, and other monsters of the natural and supernatural world, by Leo Braudy, who did The Frenzy of Renown, Fame and Its History, which is a really good book. Didn't quite off the top of my head think that he was still alive. This comes out, of course, on October 25th. And we'll just have to see. I mean, he's a smart analytical author, so I'm sure that I don't need to worry about the vibe of the subtext because there is no supernatural world, and I'm hoping that the book doesn't give credence to it in order to talk about it. But we shall see. Then there's this from Oxford, which says "as requested," so it's bound to be something I asked for. Who knows? Let's see what we have here. Oh my, speak of Olive. Was revolution inevitable? Turning points of the Russian Revolution. Oh my, by Anthony Brenton. Who is Anthony Brenton when he's at home? He was a British diplomat from 1975 to 2009. Good Lord. That's a lot of bullcrap to come out of that mouth. Completing his career as charge d'affaires at Washington and then ambassador at Moscow. He's now a fellow of Wolfson College, Cambridge, and a regular commentator on contemporary Russian issues. Great. Fantastic. Okay, that comes out in March. So I'll be getting the finished copy closer to then, provided, of course, that our new U.S. president has not ended the world by March. Could easily happen. He'll certainly give it the old college try. Oh, look at this. Oh, my. It's more of these reissued Pelican Shakespeares. This one is The Tempest. And this one is my single favorite Shakespeare play, Julius Caesar. Look at that. Very nice. These are so nice, too. They're so nice looking. All right. Very good. We have a wonderful start here. Now what have we got here? Oh, okay. This is by Adam Gazzaley and Larry Rosen. It is called The Distracted Mind, Ancient Brains in a High-Tech World. Let's read the description and see if it can thread the minefield of not irritating the pee out of Steve. Our brains aren't built to accomplish multitasking. Nope. Blown to smithereens in the very first part of the very first sentence. Say our authors in their forthcoming book, The Distracted Mind. The neuroscientists and psychologists team up for a comprehensive examination of modern technology's impact on our minds and offer a practical plan to thrive in a high-tech world. Media multitasking is not your brain performing two tasks simultaneously, they say, but instead by rapidly switching from one task to another. Distractions, or interference, as the authors call them, actually collide with our goals, impacting not only productivity, but also our lives. In other words, our two authors have a porn compulsion that they aren't disposed to control. That's my problem. And their degrees from whatever universities they got them from should be enlisted to defend that? I guarantee you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I am older, probably twice as old as these two authors. I don't find anything about a high-tech world distracting. And I'm surrounded by it. I actually make my living off it. It's all a question of how you think and whether or not you choose to control yourself. But as for the first line, our brains aren't built to accomplish multitasking. First of all, our brains weren't built. They were evolved. And they were evolved in a predator-rich environment in the Pleistocene. If that's not multitasking, I don't know what is. Okay. All right. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to read it with an open mind. But for now, let's move on. This thing's nice and heavy. Maybe it'll be a Admiral Nelson biography to cleanse the palate. What have we here? Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, this is by Elizabeth Rudinesco, and it's called Freud in His Time and Ours. This is from Harvard University Press, and it comes out in early November in this groundbreaking new biography, but I bet it's not new, right? Because it's translated. Yeah, it's not new. It came out in France in 2014. But that's all right. Finding fault in the very first line of all the pub sheets. That's not good. No wonder publicists don't like my channel. In this groundbreaking new biography, the author offers a bold and modern reinterpretation of the iconic founder of psychoanalysis. Based on never-before-seen archival sources, this is Freud's biography for the 21st century, a critical appraisal at once sympathetic and impartial of a genius greatly admired and yet greatly misunderstood in his own time and ours. Okay. All right. Okay, well, it's been a season for this. This comes out early November. It's been a season for this. I got a gigantic biography, I think also from Harvard, of Karl Marx, one of the other great ideological frauds of modern time. And it was great. It was fantastic. It's by Gareth Stedman Jones, and I loved it. And it's getting reviewed everywhere now, so that's always gratifying. Maybe I'll like this thing too. I certainly missed the original in 2014. So let's see here. We have a couple more to go. What is this thing? Also nice and big. Oh! Okay, all is forgiven. None of you are going to understand why I would be enthused, but this is a pure Steve book. This is by John Bew, and it is Clement Attlee, the man who made modern Britain. Throughout the first half of the 20th century, Winston Churchill's wartime heroics and larger-than-life personality propelled him to the center of the world stage. To most, he remains Great Britain's greatest prime minister, his fame and charisma overshadowing those who followed in his footsteps. Yet while he presided over his country's finest hour, he was not its most consequential leader. In this definitive new biography, John Bew researches how that designation belongs to Clement Attlee, Churchill's successor, who launched a new era of political, economic, and social reforms that would forever change Great Britain. Bew's thorough and keen examination of Attlee, the former leader of the Labour Party, illuminates how his progressive beliefs shaped his influential domestic and international policy. Okay. All right. That's fascinating. Now, this comes out in March. That's fascinating. I can list off the top of my head 10 ways that Clement Attlee was an unmitigated disaster as Prime Minister of England. And I'm no fan of Winston Churchill. So that's interesting. I'll want to see if this guy's... let me read you his biography. I know him already. He's really, really good. He's a professor of history and foreign policy at the War Studies Department of King's College London. And he wrote, I think last year or the year before, he wrote a study of real politics, the concept of real politics that was really good. If anybody can make me think, maybe convince me, it's him. So that's fantastic. Great. And that's two big biographies to get me past the terrors of the distracted mind. And then we've got one more thing. And that's this thing, falling to pieces. It also is pleasingly heavy, so it might be something nice. Let's see what we have here. Oh, good. Okay. This is something we've seen a couple of times here on this channel. This is Stephen Twomey, Countdown to Pearl Harbor, The 12 Days of the Attack, which I got in Galley, and I think this is not my first finished copy either. So that's good. This comes out on the 1st of November. I will be doing a roundup of new Pearl Harbor books. I think I'm doing 3 of them. For One Piece, for the Christian Science Monitor, which will be coming out sometime at the end of November, I think, or mid-November. And this is one of them. So you'll be getting, those of you who go to the Monitor and subscribe to it and leave nice emails saying, boy, that Steve guy sure is nice, we'll be able to read my take on it. I'm going to give each book about 200 words. I'm going to give myself about 200 words. That's what's important here, really. But there you go. That was certainly a save. I mean, there was one book that left a taste in my mouth, but the rest of it was so purely Steve. A dead white guy biography from Oxford, a study of World War II, a gigantic biography. It doesn't matter that it's by Freud, about Freud. Shakespeare, including my favorite Shakespeare play. Another piece of serious history from Oxford, and a Halloween book. All to counterbalance the distracted mind. Because our minds weren't built for multitasking. No, not at all. Try telling that to a... I won't harp. So this was a very good haul. And it's seeing us into a horrible weekend. I mean, there's mail tomorrow, but there's a federal holiday on Monday here in the United States. Steve doesn't get any mail on Monday, and he doesn't go to the Christian Science Monitor on Monday either. They asked him to come on Tuesday instead. So it's going to be a bleak and barren Monday, in addition to Sunday. There's a lot of complaining up ahead for you people. I feel sorry for you. Anyway, that's that, and now I'm going to stop this and film another video about my day's old book acquisitions. So I'll see you shortly. Thank you, BookTube.